Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amina.
My name is Shifa.
And today we are going to make a reflection video about verbal and non-verbal communication from the interview that we have done.
Okay, our interviewee is Farah Inshira, and she talks about her major entertainment in her daily life. There is two types of communication that she used, which is verbal communication and non-verbal communication. We know that communication comes in verbal and non-verbal form. The verbal form includes the sounds, words, language, and speaking styles that we use to convey the information and message. And for the Farah, which is our interviewee, I will talk about the first element that she used, which is her voice tone. Voice tone is so basic that it can come into play even when you are not uttering words per se. Even when you simply make a sigh or laugh, your voice tone modifies how it is likely to be interpreted. For the example, Farah, our interviewee, when she said, "Yeah, we know that," we can interpret that her tone of voice is that she agreeing with our term or something that we said to her. For the second element that I gonna cover in this verbal communication is the message that Farah used. The message that Farah conveyed is clear, concise, and easily understood by the listener and ourselves, which is the interviewer. Okay. And the last one, it is not element that I will cover. It is the type of verbal communication that we use. The type of communication that we use is small group communication. This when there are more than two people were involved in the communication. It is small for each person to interact with each other. We know that from this interview, there's three people, which is me, Amina, and the interviewee, which is Farah. This show that we use the small group communication. I think that's all for the verbal communication, and let's move on to non-verbal communication that we cover by Amina.
For the non-verbal communication that Farah used, which I'm gonna explain. Okay, first of all, I would like to talk about gesture. So gestures can reenact an action or diagram it. They can metaphorically illustrate an abstract concept. Gesture can place a story and its component in the gestural space of the speaker to represent various aspects of the story. So Farah used a lot of gesture when she tells her story. We can see a couple of examples. For example, she used a gesture to reenact things. When she talks about Adrian Ali, she used her hands to reenact the iris. She used her hands to reenact the machine. And sometimes Farah use her hands like this to convey something, or I would like to say to organize her thoughts herself. It's actually very helpful in non-verbal communication. Farah used also metaphorically terms with gesture, like when she said kill off, and I found that very interesting for her. And then we will talk about her communication ability also in terms of non-verbal. So Farah can maintain good eye contact through all the interview, if I could remember. This as a sign that she show respect to other person's ideas, which is very a good ability in communication. And sometimes Farah give affirmative head notes, which suggests that she is engaging in the interview, and it is a sense of paying attention also. Next, so all of this combined, we can say that our communication with Farah is very effective because we understand what she's trying to convey, and she understands our questions really well. Okay, because what we say is that effective communication it's not just about exchange of information, it also involves understanding emotions and intentions while communicating. So we can say that even her facial expressions, yes, it helps us, it allows us to understand her through her eyes, her eyebrows, her mouth, and also her facial muscles. So
For the conclusion, I think she used non-verbal communication more than verbal communication,
yes,
which is we know that the fact verbal communication is less used compared to non-verbal communication, which is there is a chart which is the non-verbal communication that we use in our daily life, which is 55%, which is more compared to verbal communication. That's why Amina had a long explanation about the non-verbal communication that our interviewee used, Farah. There's facial expression, head nod, something like that. So I think
that's all from us. So
Thank-
we would like to say thank you for Farah also
Mm-mm.
for this interview, and I hope people will understand our reflection. Bye.